Wow. After watching this movie, only one question really came to my mind. Why hasn't Hugh Grant done more movies like this? So Heretic is the newest psychological horror movie that has been released by A24. And if you've seen the trailers, you've pretty much seen the movie because the movie is exactly what the trailer promoted. Little premise here, though, since, for people who haven't heard about this movie, it essentially follows these two Mormon missionaries who, of course, are traveling around spreading the good word about their church, and they try to convert this Englishman when they visit his house, only to later find out that he didn't call them or invite them into his home to be converted, but instead to test them and their faith. I mean, that's the movie in a nutshell, and that's pretty much what the trailer promoted, so you essentially have seen the movie already if you have seen this trailer. Let's go ahead and get this here out of the way. Hugh Grant is the big star of this movie, without a doubt. I actually haven't seen a movie with him in it since The Gentleman that came out, I believe, in 2019 or 2020. I can't remember what year, but essentially, with his track record of movies that he has been in, this is not really a movie that you would think that he would, do. But after watching it, like I said before, after how great of a job he did, it just surprises me that he hasn't done more movies like this because his performance was incredible. We see the Hugh Grant that we've always known him to be. Sometimes he can be funny, sometimes he can be dramatic, but he brings that here, but on a creepy level. He's like always smiling, always, still joyful, but at the same time, he is creepy and devious. He's like constantly asking questions, being, this religious nut, asking these girls questions and questioning them. There was one moment where it's my favorite moment. It was a reference to Monopoly, but I'm not going to go in depth to that because I don't want to go into spoilers. It really makes you start asking questions. There were things about, religion I didn't know about. And it essentially, if you are a religious person and you go see this movie, it probably will make you ask questions. But also there will be moments where you'll say, like, what he's saying is you completely disagree with. Or there could be moments where you do, like, say, you can see that. It's really on the fence. But with the way he describes it, it's such a creepy vibe, and how he compares it to, like, a board game. As for our two missionaries, who are played by Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East, I don't really know whether to consider their performance, just good acting at being naive little girls, or just bad acting in general. Okay? Because they seem pretty clueless in this movie in certain things he says, and they fall for things, when they just walk into his house. I'm not going to explain how, because like I said, no spoilers. But it seems like in this movie, Sophie Thatcher's character is the only one who actually seems to have a brain. She actually questions things. She's like wondering what's going on. She starts feeling like something is wrong. Whereas Chloe East's character just seems like a complete ditz. She's just like out there in La La Land, like just preaching like, hey, I'm a good girl. And she just doesn't even ponder to question what is wrong until, she's in a bad situation. Sophie Thatcher's character wasn't like that. She was like questioning things right away. So, I mean, I don't know whether to consider it good acting at being naive or bad acting in general. Honestly, though, the only issue I really had with this movie is that I wish we had gotten more time in the dungeon that was promoted in the trailer. Because, especially with how long this movie is, its runtime is close to 2 hours. And although it does get straight to the point and doesn't waste any time getting to, what we see in the trailers with, Hugh Grant and him testing these girls, it takes us a while to get to the dungeon part. And even after that, we don't spend a lot of time in there. And they seem to have promoted that a lot. So I was expecting to spend more time in there, but we didn't. But still, that's just a small, flaw in my opinion. Well, not really a flaw, just a small thing that, can be overlooked because, the movie overall still was really good. But like I said before, I hope Hugh Grant does more movies like this in the future because I'm giving Heretic here an A. Really good psychological horror movie. And really good for Hugh Grant's first. Alright, well that just about wraps up this review. If you guys have seen the movie Heretic, please comment here down below what your thoughts were on it. Also, if you like my other videos, you can check out here more on my channel. And always remember to stay epic!